Good day, everyone. As I promised, after each board of directors of AIAC, I'm giving you a bit of the highlights of what was discussed. So this is basically what happened at the board that was held on April 17th in Ottawa. So what we really focused on was really to take note of what was in the federal budget, because as you know, this was the first opportunity for the federal government actually to respond to the Emerson report that was published end of November. And so we really reviewed all the measures that are in there. Overall, we're extremely satisfied with what's in the budget. Actually, a lot of other sectors called AIAC after the budget and said, how did you do this to get a number of measures specifically for aerospace in the budget? And we know it's not an accident, right? We worked together. We started with the Deloitte report and study a few years ago that was eventually moved into the budget and then into the Emerson review that was mandated by the government, all the working groups work that we've done, and then of course the Emerson report. So it's not an accident. It's really through all the hard work that we've done together that we're getting some of these measures in the budget. So the first one that is very important was the recapitalization of SADI of close to $1 billion over the next 5 years. One of the things that is also mentioned in the budget is that the government is open to look at reviewing the administration and operation of SADI over the coming year. So we hope that could include reviewing the terms and conditions. So we invite you members to actually provide some input on what is your opinion as to how SADI should be administered and operated through AIAC's Technology and Innovation Committee. The committee has started to meet very recently. The second measure in the budget that was very important to us was the creation of a technology demonstration program. So the funding will be $110 million over the next 4 years, and after starting next year, and afterwards it will be $55 million annually. It might not be the level of funding that we were expecting, but honestly, we were asking for such a program for many years, and we're very happy. It's a very good start. So what will be done in the next few months is actually determine how it will work, how it will be operated, what kind of projects could be funded. So there again, we invite you to provide your input through AIC's committee. Another measure mentioned in the budget is that the government will launch a consultation on creating a national aerospace R&T, research and technology network. And the idea there, I guess, is to actually agree on what should be the mechanism, what it should look like within the coming years. So of course, AIAC will provide some input through its committee, so please share your ideas. Another measure in the budget was the certification. We know that there's going to be an increased level of certification required in Canada, and the budget recognized that the government is open to a cost-sharing model with the industry, so that's very good. Of course, some of the members said we need to be very close to that issue. We want to make sure that it makes sense in the way it's going to be operated. So we invite you on this one to provide your input through AIAC's Market Access and Civil Aviation Committee. Then in the budget, there was a generic mention on space. It said the government is reviewing its policies and programs specific to the space sector to better support Canada's space capability. So there, of course, we know that there was a big Emerson report just focusing on space. This might look like not much, but we know that the government is undertaking some changes right now in the space sector. And so therefore, we know they have things to do before they actually consider the Emerson recommendations. So we know that things are going on there, and that the Space Committee of AIAC will be very involved in the next step. In terms of supply chain development, the budget actually mentioned it when it mentions the highlights of the Emerson report. I think there what we hope is that through AIAC and through its Supply Chain Development Committee, we would like to come up with our favorite approach of what a supply chain development program could look like in Canada by the end of the year, maybe by the fall. So how can we raise the competitiveness of our small and medium-sized companies? So we'll work through that through AIAC. In the budget, of course, there was mention of public procurement and the key industrial capabilities that we call the KICs. So that is also a link between not only the Emerson report, but also the Jenkins report. So there, of course, that they're saying that they will consult a bit more with the industry. And we know that, for example, Jenkins has already asked AIAC to participate in a working group very soon about what this Defense Analysis Institute for Canada will look like and things like that. So I know there's a lot of debate there within the procurement committee, so we invite you to share your ideas. With respect to skills in the budget, there were no aerospace focused measures there, and one of the issues we debated as a board is that perhaps we should work with other sectors that are looking just like us at upscaling the skills of our employees and not just at providing jobs to the underemployed. So maybe what's in the budget is something that we'll need to work with other industries. With respect to small business, in the budget, again, there was nothing aerospace specific in there, some generic measures that might be good for small business. In our case at AIAC, we really want to make sure that small business is covered in all the implementation of the Emerson report that is really considered horizontally, and that, of course, through our small business committee, we'll make sure that this is happening. Also, through AIAC this year, we'll have a 2, 3, or 4, depending on the time, what we call small business forum, where big business and small business will meet to actually discuss some topics of interest, and we hope that will increase cooperation within our AIAC. So these were the key really elements that we discussed at the board. Perhaps just a few more things. Just want to mention that we will start the strategic planning process. Hopefully by June at the next board we'll have a decision on where we want to go for the next 3 years, objectives and things we want to achieve. We also got the communications update. It's part of my mandate. I want to focus on communications, so our director of communications gave us a status of the situation. We've done a lot, but there's still a lot more we can do to improve, so you'll hear more about that in the coming months. And of course, we welcome a new board member, Aero Montréal, following their merger with AQA. Now they meet the criteria to become a full member of AIAC, and so therefore they were welcome as a board member. Although, as I mentioned in my prior video at the last board, we created a committee to review our relationship, AIAC's relationship with the provincial and regional association. So by the AGM, we should have some recommendation as to how we should move forward. So for now, of course, all the regional provincial associations are a full-time member of AIAC's board when they meet our criteria. So hopefully these highlights were helpful. See you soon.